So here I'm walking on a lot here, obviously new vehicles, but a lot of used vehicles as well. And if you can believe it, I found some of the worst, most unreliable collection of used cars I've ever seen. So here we're gonna do the car lot blitz. I'm gonna walk you down, give you the particulars on each one of these vehicles, and I'm gonna give it the reliability rating. Let's just get right into it. Enough of the nonsense. Right here we have the Dodge Grand Caravan. Obviously, I call it the dog Grand Caravan because it's a dog of a vehicle. You get the engine that goes sideways, not all that reliable. You also get transmission issues, blow those out literally at the drop of a hat. Their transmissions have been weak. The interior plastics leave a lot to be desired, and you're dealing with something that does even make Fisher Price or a tackle box feel envious. These vehicles here, not that great. They're popular because they're cheap, but I would give that a 2 out of 5 star for reliability. Here, a Kia Sorento. Look at this vehicle. Unfortunately, these vehicles here with the direct injected engines are also known for a lot of durability issues. ABS system leaking into the electronics, potential for fire, tight wiring harnesses when the engine tweaks. That can also pull harnesses, cause fire, as well as that engine is known for fires. These are not great vehicles. I would avoid them. 2 out of 5. Here, Volvo. Definitely, let's take a look here. Beautiful updated lights. We get the alloy wheels. This is a great looking vehicle. Yes, you get sunroof on top, and we look around, we get the vertical lights by Volvo here, and this is an XC60 T6 all-wheel drive. But the problem with Volvo these days is they're doing too much with too little. Here you get a 4-cylinder engine wrapped under the hood, and in top levels of trim, they attach a supercharger and a turbocharger to it, and then on top of it, throw electrification. Way too much going on. Oil burning, oil consumption, transmission issues, but importantly, a lot of electronics and safety features go bye-bye. And these are known as some of the more unreliable vehicles on the market today. So unfortunately, the XC60, we're talking about a vehicle, 2 out of 5 star. Here, obviously, we have a Toyota. This one is obviously a hybrid with the blue circle in there. Beautiful. As we cycle down, you get fold-away mirrors, and of course, lots of dual trim. You do get a little sunroof on top. Why is that? Because this RAV4 happens to be the limited. So it's a hybrid, and because it's limited, it actually has top stated trim. It looks like we have leather, but I believe that's just a pleather. But the interior is trimmed nicely with all kinds of nice details. Now, it's a Toyota. What we get is reliability. Of course, a 4-cylinder engine, of course, made it up, CVT or the ECVT, with, of course, you get the hybrid system, which is Toyota's favorite, and that's what they do best. I would chalk this vehicle up to give it a 4 out of 5 star reliability. Here, GMC Acadia. Not a great product. Transmission issues all day long. Yes, they're known for transmission issues, electric troubles. Look, even the quality of this plastic is hard plastic there. Nothing really great here on these vehicles. They're big and they're large, and certain models have engine issues as well. Timing chains on these GMC all-wheel drive vehicles. And people who like a large vehicle, it fits the bill. But there's way better vehicles out there. This one here, I give a 3 out of 5 star for reliability. Then, of course, we have this little unit. What do we have here? A Lincoln. Yes, this is a Lincoln vehicle. As we cycle around, we get beautiful wheels, two-tone handles right there, lots of amenities, glass on top. Definitely has all of the features you can imagine, but this is a rebadged Ford, and this Lincoln MKX right there with the all-wheel drive does come with a share of issues. Yes, there's been a lot of people complaining with electronics inside, of course, infotainment challenges, and as well transmission issues. Engines, not that great either. This one here gets a 3 out of 5 star. Here's another one. Nautilus. This is as well a Lincoln product. Now it's a little prettier. I would say that MKX, not a good looking unit. Look at the grille on that. Looks like a couple of wings. This one here, at least it looks a little bit more attractive. Has these nice flared haunches up here. This Nautilus absolutely looks great. I like the mirrors, two-tone here, and naturally get sunroof on top. It's a great vehicle if you like your Ford products, but again, you're dealing with a lower grade of reliability. You're not getting Honda or Lexus here. You're getting Lincoln 2.7 turbo all-wheel drive, and you do get lots of amenities, leather. You get all of the detail, wood grain trim or fake trim on side. It's an attractive looking vehicle, drives nice, but this one gets a 3 out of 5 star. Here we have a Honda. Right here is an SI. This is obviously a Civic. And Civics have always been quite reliable until they go and throw that 1.5 liter turbo 4 in there. You do get a sunroof here too, and it's a beautiful little vehicle. But the Civic SI has all of the plastic and all of the fake pieces on there to choke a horse. But it's a great vehicle, it's fun. This one here actually comes with a manual gearbox and front wheel drive. This is a fairly reliable unit, although not as good as the older versions with some of their naturally aspirated engines. This vehicle here definitely gets me a 4 out of 5 star. Here, Volkswagen, this one here, not a great vehicle. Obviously, what we have here is a Tiguan. We get the R here, and basic little handles. You do get big sunroof on top. All kinds of greatness back here. It's an attractive looking unit. But we know with the VAG group, Volkswagen Audi group, you're going to take on your share and more than your share of problems. Of course, this one does have the pop-up rear backup camera. You do get lots of LEDs back here, and the 4Motion gives you all-wheel drive with this vehicle. Predominantly, it's primarily front-wheel drive as base model. You do get leather interior. I do see the ventilated pock marks in the seats. You get heated and cooled seats here. That's what they do. They give you lots of features, and that's the problem. Volkswagen and a lot of these German cars put a lot of technology in, and they're very advanced, and unfortunately reliability takes a hit. There have been problems with timing chains piling up. There's been issues with a lot of infotainment, carbon fouling, and overall durability issues, fuel leaks. These are not the most reliable vehicles on the planet. I would give this a 2.5 out of 5 star. Here we have another vehicle, another Volkswagen. What is this? Well, you get the nice details on here. I love the wheels right there too, and this is also has the R. You get a two-tone, looking beautiful there. Definitely the interior looks sharp, and large sunroof on top. It's a good looking unit, but the problem is these come with an issue. Here's a V6 Atlas 4Motion, so it has all-wheel drive again. You get lots of nice chrome detailing on there, but as usual, they're fake, as in the usual way of VAG. If you think you're getting exhaust tips, think again. You got to go underneath there to actually see your exhaust system, but these are fake. This vehicle here, not all that reliable. They talk about fuel system leaks. That's been a problem area. Reliability with some of the electrics because it's too technical. But the worst part is some of the earlier generations had engine shuffling. The head units were not bolted up tight enough, and there was some engine shuffling. Very bad scene. Coolant leaks, eating coolant. If you find your coolant's dropping, you might have a coolant system issue, leaks or consuming it. And that's not an uncommon issue with the shuffling heads, as well as oil consumption, blown head gaskets, or internal external leaks. These are not that great. Clock spring problems with some of these Volkswagens as well. Yes, they're not that reliable. And this goes for both of them because they're more or less the same vehicle. You're going to have a lot of issues. 2 out of 5 star for those. Here we have a beautiful car. I love the looks of this. Of course, this is the pony car, Mach 1, very aggressive looking. This does come with the 5-liter V8 engine. Beautiful wheels on here, the Mach 1. Lots of great detailing. You don't get sunroof on this one though, but you do get this really big aggressive wing and a very powerful stance. Look at the way the wheels just flare out. Beautiful. Of course, beautiful look there, more fine detailing. And it's a very, very trademarked car. Everybody knows a Mustang when they see it. So I understand why people buy them. This one here has an automatic transmission, which is probably the less of the exciting. Obviously, you want to make sure you get the manual, but then the manuals have issues. There's been problems with the linkage adjustments. Clutch, there's a recall for the pressure line there for the clutch, the master cylinder. So of course, right here too, we also have a Mustang. These both are talking 5 liters. This one here is the Mach 1. This one here is more base. We have a convertible, also an automatic. So I would rate these both very moderately. I'd give them 3.5 out of 5 star, but boy, they sure are fun. And the next one right here, we have this beautiful little Toyota. Now, Toyota is known to be ultra reliable, but the secret is what's under that hood is not a Toyota engine. That's right. This is a beautiful little sports car. You got all the great detail like that. It looks very aggressive, very sporty. Look at the flared haunches back there. That's because this is their sports car that they collaborated with BMW, and they put a special drivetrain in here. Yes, you get nice details like this. Beautiful. No sunroof here, but this is essentially the same vehicle as the BMW Z4. That's right. What we're looking at here is the Toyota Supra. This is the newest, latest, and greatest. Has a set of beautiful exhaust tips here, GR. Obviously, you can get this now in an automatic, which originally that was all you were able to get, and you can also get a manual 6-speed. This one does come with the 8-speed automatic, which, say that again, is ultra reliable. They're bulletproof. They last a long time. But what's under the hood, and a lot of people think BMW, oh, what a mistake, but BMW put their B58 engine in there, which is one of their most reliable engines they've ever manufactured. It's a turbo straight 6 with well over 300 ponies. You're actually closer to 400 horsepower with that, and it's actually one of the most reliable. Heat encapsulation systems. Of course, you got better heads, injection systems. The bottom end is much more durable, more robust, and it's a very, very reliable workhorse. So BMW did it right, and Toyota knew it, so they actually doubled down. Here's another Ford Mustang. We won't talk about that. because that's basically the same as its brothers over there. Here, Mercedes GLB. What we have right here is a little turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder engine under the hood, 9-speed automatic transmission. Of course, you do get these LEDs, and it's kind of a cute little vehicle. If you like that more utilitarian look, more upright, more boxy, they do give you a sunroof on here. I mean, it is Mercedes, so they dress it up nicely. The GLB 250 4MATIC means you get the all-wheel drive system, and you get a set of exhaust tips right there. Look at that in there, and look at that lower splitter back there. That is absolutely beautiful there, and lots of protection. Beautiful alloy wheels. We've got the same on our C-Class. It's a great looking little vehicle, but there have been some engine failures already in some of the GLBs, if you can believe it. So there's been some catastrophic failures. I would rank this vehicle, because of some of the technologically advanced issues with these vehicles, I would put this probably around a 2.5 out of 5 star. Fun, frivolous, but it is a Mercedes and it's very technical. And enough about that one. We have a couple more little Mercedes-Benz right here. Here we have a little SUV, and here we have a little car. It's 4 doors, and these are built on the same platform. And what we have here is a CLA, and here we have a GLA. And these are basically predominantly front-wheel drive vehicles. Unless you get the 4MATIC, then you get yourself a 4MATIC vehicle, and then it drives the rear wheels as well as through here. You get the extra power pushing through the back here. Of course, here's the GLA 250 4MATIC, so you do get the all-wheel drive. And here you get a 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, CLA 250. They have the same drivetrains, and they actually come with a double clutch gearbox, which makes them spirited and somewhat sporty, but I will say that they definitely are not a real refined ride. Now, that actually pays dividends in some case, because they definitely carry the badge. Driving down the road, looking back, and you see that it still looks intimidating. It has the great 3-pointed star on here, as it does on these vehicles too. You also get lots of seating capacity, although it's a little bit shrinky. You do get the oversized glass on top, and you get the oversized glass on top here. Now, these do come with some issues. The gearbox, there's been noted people with some troubles with transmissions with the double clutch. Sunroofs have been known to come off or leak. There's also been electric issues, but overall, both of these vehicles are a fairly basic way to go to get into Mercedes transportation. You don't have air ride systems, you don't have a lot of technology, so things are simpler, so they're cheaper. And as a result, driving a car like that, I would give these a 3.5 out of 5 star, because they're a lot simpler than going up to, say, an E or an S class. Here we have another Mercedes SUV, but this is something different. It's on the platform of what we own. We own a C-Class car. It's a coupe or a coupe, depends how you like that. Here, this one is a GLC 300, and it's a 4MATIC. Ours is a C300, and we also have a 4MATIC. You do get these great little exhaust tips down there, and as you look, lots of dual trim here, beautiful inside, and you get lots of big sunroof space on top. Now, we love our vehicle, but the engines rattle a little bit when they're cold. There have been known issues with some fueling systems, oil system problems, and unfortunately, if you have a weak battery, you're going to anticipate some troubles. It'll spit out check engine lights and all kinds of troubles on the dash, because modules love their small voltage levels, or the tight little voltage class levels. And unfortunately, they're very susceptible to failures if you have a poor battery. So these vehicles, a little bit squeaky, the front end makes a little noise, a little rattly under the hood. Overall, it's very economical. It has enough performance to move it down the road, but I would say this one here ranks at about a 3 out of 5 star. Here we have a 2017 340i. Obviously, we have these great mirrors, sunroof on top, leather interior, all kinds of greatness that BMW offers up. You do get the X-Drive system, as well as you get a set of dual exhaust tips. Now, what's great about the 340 is that these latest generations, that's the first year it came out, but there's yet another enhancement to the engine. But the engine under that hood is what BMW is now building some of their most reliable engines, same as that Supra over there. Gives you the B58, which is that 3-liter turbo 6, but now it's got heat encapsulation, mechanical water pump, better fuel system, better bottom end, and it's much more reliable than many of its outgoing models and generations with the N55 or the N54. Very reliable, and I would give this one here at a 4 out of 5 star. And next one in line after the BMW, we have this little Audi Q3. What do we have here? It's an attractive little vehicle. They were offering up a lot of incentives, so they were winding up on the road. People were actually buying these vehicles, but they look like a military boot all dressed up in red here. This Q3 has LEDs, has the 4 rings of despair, and it's quattro. That means it gives you the all-wheel drive system that everybody seems to love. Very similar to what you get over with the Subaru brand. They have their trademark all-wheel drive system, but these vehicles aren't necessarily the most reliable. Well, the latest generations are much better than, say, go back to 2011, 12, 13, 14 model years of any Audi with the turbo 4-cylinder engine were very problematic. These are better, but timing chain, still an issue. Electronic issues, still an issue on the dashboard. And of course, a fragile suspension system on a lot of these Audis often means you're doing wheel bearings, premature brake jobs, and of course, they're just inherently slightly less reliable than you're going to get from some of their competition. I give this vehicle a 3 out of 5 star. Here we have an Audi A5, also not a great reliable vehicle. This one's a little bit older. As we're looking here, we see this one's a 2019. Certainly looks a lot older. I mean, nobody took care of it, rock chips everywhere, but that's not the point. The point is, are these vehicles reliable or not? Overall, because this is the A5 Quattro, this also carries that 2-liter TFSI or 2-liter turbo engine. Not all that reliable. And again, I give this one here a 3 out of 5 star overall, but they will possibly consume oil in a short while if they haven't already. Here we have the next one in line. Obviously here we have a 4x4 Laredo. Look at this peeling away. What's going on here? What is happening here? It's the Flex Fuel E85 ethanol right here. You sure you get plastic, cheap rims, very basic. Nothing is really worth writing home about here. You do get obviously more paint peeling right here. This vehicle must have been exposed to something, but they have been known to actually have paint issues, paint peeling issues. And unfortunately, some of these issues also exist around the automatic transmission with some of these, where a lot of people, they've had that rotary knob, and that can cause problems where they don't go into neutral even when you select neutral. This one doesn't have the rotary knob. This one has the old-fashioned stick shift on it. But these are not all that well made, and obviously they have their share of issues. With the TIPM and the totally integrated power modules, you have troubles with a lot of the electrics. You know, from the power mirrors to the power windows to the gauges and lights to other things. For example, like the fuel pump even running through the TIPM means a lot of times these vehicles are going to leave people in a world of hurt. I unfortunately have to rate, even though they're very popular, the Jeep Grand Cherokee like this, rate that a 2.5 out of 5 star. Here we have another Jeep product, also not a great vehicle, although they have gotten slightly better. They enhanced this new 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, made it a little bit better in this little Cherokee X. Not a great vehicle, not that well made, and there have been some drivability issues, engine issues, the transmission, yes, you name it. There have been problems, transmission, wiring harnesses, and failure to shift or hard shifting. These aren't that well made, generally speaking, and as a result, the Cherokee, there's a reason it's been discontinued. They weren't popular, they weren't selling, and they weren't that reliable. The older generation Cherokees were great. The old boxy style that looked like a Lada, they were wonderful, they were durable, and they were simple. These later generations are basically built on a unibody minivan platform, and I give this one a 2.5 out of 5 star. Here we have another Jeep Grand Cherokee, but now specifically, you'll notice we have the big breathing nostrils there. Here's a 17, this is an SRT. If you want to go fast, this is a great way to go. If you want a powerful, noisy SUV, this might be your bet. You get these big exhaust tips down at the bottom. You get the SRT badging right there, and it's a Jeep SRT. But these are very expensive to buy brand new, and again, subject to premature transmission failures, supercharger issues, engine issues altogether. I've heard of coolant leaks all over. The seats as well feel more like a plastic bag, and they start to sag and lose some of their filling after a short while. So it's more of a cosmetic challenge here, but again, not that well made. Overall, I'm going to rank this one at a 3 out of 5 star. Right here, we have another one, Rubicon by Jeep. Not a great product, but people love them and they hold their value because they're a popular vehicle. Same thing with any of the Jeep products. The TIPM, the totally integrated power module, means you could get issues with power windows not working, no run condition, gauges not functioning properly, and lights can be a problem as well. So the TIPM totally integrated power module might cost you a few $1,000s or a couple grand to fix that up if that happens to be a problem. Of course, obviously rust and corrosion, no shortage of, you know, body panels that aren't that well made, even though that may or may not be aftermarket. I mean, it's not uncommon to see hinges and parts that are starting to rust. The front end becomes a problem as well because of the old death wobble. A lot of these suspension parts under here prematurely wear, and then the vehicle gets a little wobbly at speed. And it becomes really, really dangerous and unstable. And sadly, that death wobble, it could be the end of a lot of problems. Of course, coolant leaks, that V6 Pentastar could be okay, but they also come with the turbo 4-cylinder. There's also hybrid versions of this. There's also the SRT hot rod V8 version of this. There's a different drivetrains that you can get in these Jeeps, but they all come with some challenges and reliability issues. Of course, up front here, sometimes you get the throttle position sensor issues, and you get the surging and hunting. So the Rubicons, even though they're popular and they will hold their value, you take your chance with these. I would rank these at 3 out of 5 star. Here, of course, we have a GMC, obviously a Z71, and it doesn't matter whether you buy the 5.3 or the 6.2s. I believe the Chevys do create some of the most interesting trucks because they still have the V8, but unfortunately some of the slightly older generation 8-speed automatic transmissions had problems, as did the engines in these had issues as well. Obviously they had lifter issues in some of these, in the 5.3s and 6.2s, meaning that GM was under warranty possibly going to change single parts, possibly one bank, and maybe it was a catastrophic, they do everything. But there have been a lot of issues, unfortunately, in a lot of those GMC pickup trucks. So enough about trucks, I'll skip these two here, and here's one that you've probably all been waiting for, the Ford Bronco. This one here is the Raptor edition. Obviously beautiful, you get these extra massive flares, big military grade style wheels. I definitely love the looks of this. Look at that. Very sturdy right there as well. You get the access in, it's basically security system, and the Raptor decals all over the place. Big spare wheel on top, and it's a good looking vehicle. But unfortunately, this Bronco Raptor has its share of problems already. I'm hearing people, 3.5 liter V6, basically people talking about the cam phaser issues already. Cold startup, and you get about 10-15 seconds of rattle noise under the hood. Now that's allegedly, but the more people I engage with, the more I'm hearing that story being an issue. We know some of the other more base models, not just the Raptor, some of the more base 2.7s were dropping valves with very low miles, so the retainers were a problem there too. So there's some engine issues, there's some fueling issues, emissions problems, and overall the general quality is in line as what you'd expect with a Ford product like this. And as a result, very cool, very interesting, and a great alternative to buying a Jeep Wrangler. But I hate to say it, this vehicle here is probably going to me, get about a 3 out of 5 star rating for overall reliability. And with all of that said, be sure to check out that. You want to know some of the most reliable engines and the vehicles you'll find them in? That's where you'll find it. Hope to see each and every one in the next one. See you real soon. Bye-bye.